Hi, I'm Sevda. I'm here with Dr. David Burns. I'm the marketer on the Feeling Great app team, and we're here to ask Dr. David Burns what influenced him in his training. So I've heard, David, that you've been influenced by psychodrama when you were in medical school. How has that influenced your work?
Well, it's made a big impact. I was kind of turned off by the Stanford Department of Psychiatry, and I don't mean to be critical. They've probably got some great people now, but it seemed very stuffy and authoritarian and kind of just irritating. And I know later on when I had psychoanalytic training as a psychiatric resident, it pretty much confirmed my skepticism that I'd had as a medical student. But I found this place in Palo Alto. It doesn't exist anymore, so you won't find it, but headed by this Chinese guy, Hussein Chang, who had rumored to be kind of a guru type person, and he ran these 48-hour marathons where people would get together in a house, and you're not allowed to leave the house, and there's maybe 35 people sitting in a circle, and one by one they go into the middle of the circle and they get confronted and eventually crash and burst into tears. And then they would take them and throw them in the air and move them around on your hands and have music and lights. And it was very dramatic. And then they'd experience tremendous joy. And I learned two things that I've never forgotten. It was terrifying. They were lay individuals. It wasn't highly supervised and that type of thing. It was pretty wild. It was like the Wild West of psychotherapy, you might say. But I learned two things. And first, that most people, maybe everybody, including us right now. There's Forrest who's working the cameras. There's you. There's me. Have some inner part of us that's kind of suffering and being hidden, and that people put on false faces. And the whole idea behind psychodrama was to confront your defenses and to kind of tear you down and then put you back together again and to bring out more vulnerability and genuineness. And so that was one of the things that I realized, and it was such a shocking discovery. And I was young and I was naive, and so the stuff I saw was kind of terrifying but exciting, seeing real life for the first time. Like I remember a fellow came into a psychodrama marathon at the start, and I did a six week internship. So I got to go for free to the marathons, and I didn't know much, but I was supposed to kind of help out in whatever way I could. But I remember at the start, everyone would introduce themselves, go around the circle. And you saw people kind of posturing and trying to impress others. And I remember seeing this fellow said he was a Stanford psychology professor. And he kind of introduced himself as an expert, and he was there kind of to observe and to learn, and that he was on this kind of higher level. And it was kind of off-putting, and I thought to myself, this guy's going to be in for real trouble, because when you kind of let your ego in a psychodrama marathon, there's going to be a lot of people with heavy boots ready to stomp on you in the harshest and
Yeah.
most direct way, is the best way to explain it. And I remember when it came his turn to go into the middle of the circle, people started hitting on him that he was really so phony, and he thinks he's such a big Stanford professor, but he's kind of an asshole. And why is he being so fake? And what's he trying to hide? And then he burst out, my only son committed suicide last week, and I'm devastated. And he started sobbing uncontrollably. And it was so moving, and I saw how much I was naturally in my daily life misjudging everybody, taking people at the surface and not understanding that there was, much more to people. So that was a beautiful thing to learn. And the other thing I learned is that people could change very rapidly in a matter of 20 minutes or 25 minutes, and maybe the techniques of psychodrama were a bit too extreme, but I saw people going from tears to joy, to laughter, to enlightenment quickly, person after person after person. And that was so different from my psychiatric training, where you were supposed to sit and people would talk and talk and talk, and you were supposed to listen and not say much, and something good was supposed to come out of that. And I never once saw anything good come out of that except more talking and more tears and more anger and more expression of feelings. And that's why I eventually got involved with cognitive therapy, and wrote my first book, Feeling Good, in 1980, because I was so excited about cognitive therapy. And then over the last 40 years, I've been modifying cognitive therapy to become even more powerful and more kind of like psychodrama, but in a safer way, to bring about rapid change. And that's what we've done with the Feeling Great app. Maybe you can tell people kind of
Yeah.
what it is.
So this makes a lot of sense that psychodrama has influenced your work, because actually a big part of Team CBT is also doing role-playing techniques
Oh, yeah, right.
to crush your negative thoughts and to see how ridiculous how some of these thoughts are. So if you go to our app, the Feeling Great app, you can actually practice some of these role-playing techniques with the AI that we've trained. So yeah, and it works for me. It might work for you.
Yeah, check it out. You've got nothing to lose. Take a free ride on it. And if you like it, you can purchase a year's subscription. At least currently it's priced at $99. And if you can't afford it, just contact us and we'll give it to you for free. We want to see you change the way you think so you can change the way you feel and experience not only a reduction in negative feelings like depression, anxiety, inadequacy, etc., but a complete elimination, and even more, to jump on a trampoline and get catapulted into what is called enlightenment, which is joy and feeling the magic of being alive. So anyway, that's it. Thank you for joining us, and that's how psychodrama influenced me. I'll always be grateful to. He called himself the crazy Chinaman, Hussein Chung, and I'll always be grateful for what I learned from you and others you were working with at the Human Institute in old Palo Alto.